in a lot of horror movies, and I'm curious if for you, is there a difference in the performing of a horror movie versus like a more straightforward or traditional drama?
Everything's heightened, like everything's more extreme because it's really extreme circumstances. So it's actually quite similar to acting, I don't want to say in comedy, but a lot of it has to do with timing. And if the timing, if the beat is completely off, you're maybe not gonna get a scare as much, or with comedy, you're not gonna get a laugh as much. So a lot of it has to do with just knowing timing.
I'm curious what it is for you to step into a character like this, where it's a very different take on than we've seen on the Wolfman before, but the Wolfman as a concept is so ingrained.
Yeah.
What is that like for you? Are you like getting into all that lore, or are you kind of, is that not helpful?
Well, I have to say though, like a lot of the Wolfman movies that I've seen, I've seen a good amount of them. I think they all kind of have their own their own spin on it. They're all different time periods, you know, whether you have it's 18th century or whatever, or you know, you have like American Werewolf in London, which is in the 80s and comedic. It's like I've been saying that the Wolfman character is a really good vehicle for whatever like theme or allegory you want to sort of drive through that. Because it's about change, right? It's a character changing at its core. So, but there's so much you can sort of fill in story-wise and thematically to create your own spin on that thing, and I think that's what Leigh did with this.
What do you think defines the essentials of a werewolf movie?
Transformation. I think and losing humanity. I think that's the key of like going from the human part to like the animal part and what gets lost in the way. I think that's the most important thing, and I think that's what attracts people, and to see what would happen, like the feral part of it.
I think everything centers around love in a way, and then you're more invested in the people, and then you get scared easier, or you're more upset. So yeah, I think its centers always around that.
People's first question is always, what does the wolf look like? What does it look like? And so I was determined to do something that looked different. I was really thinking about what Christopher Nolan did with the Joker, that character. If you remember when they released that first image of Heath Ledger, it was definitely paying homage to the Joker, but it felt very singular. And I thought about that a lot. That's what I wanted to do. And so Arian Tushin, when I selected him, I was talking to a lot of makeup artists, but I chose him because he's very artist forward. He's not coming at it from the fanboy perspective. He's thinking he's such an artist. So he has no interest in doing something that's been done before. So that was what we were leaning into, was like a biological version of this.